Now, with pastels, you use the darker colors first because then you go over them with the lighter colors. And you have to be very, very light. You can't push down. Especially this paper doesn't have the tooth to it. So you gotta be mucho careful. So I'm going to start with the roof of that house. Just kind of, this is a little too wide. Yeah, put it over here. All right. And I'm looking here. I didn't do it before, but I wonder what it would look like with a little purple over it. Ah, yeah, okay. I'm going to put, oops, I had better, this is not getting onto the canvas. I'm going to soften this edge so it's not as sharp, and then I'm going to use the pastels. I guess I'll go down in one direction. See, now it hits everything. Okay. And I gotta remember to do it lightly. All right. Now, and oh, I think I made it lower. Okay, it's hard to see my lines here. Okay, let's put this down a little bit. There, very light. Now, you go different places. You don't just finish one detail. This goes with any type of artwork. You don't just finish one little roof and so forth. You want to see the whole picture evolve. So now let me do the greens. Really a dark green. We don't have that color in real pastel land. They would be doing they would have a perfect color for that, but instead the green has got to be really dark. So I'm going to try, we'll see how it works out. I'm going to be putting in a little bit, first layer, very light. Gotta remember that last time I did it, I wasn't very light. Just gonna put it in, and I'm gonna put a layer of the lighter, maybe yellow, or actually a green over that. So just kind of like, all right. And I'm just gonna go around. This is pretty good for the grass. Let's see if I'm gonna have to make that edge a little bit rounder so it'll hit the paper. Remember, go light. Lucy, go lightly. From what is that? Breakfast at Tiffany. That was it. Yes. Lucy, somebody go lightly. All right, and I'm going to put some of that here. And now the light green, I'm going to put, it's funny, I got the lighter color on the green. The light green and the dark green are suddenly the same color because I got pastel dust on it. All right, this is the light green. And I'll put a little of that here. And some of the this is an ochre. Okay, I'll put some of the ochre. Just give me an idea in the front here. And I'll put some of the darker green in here. That light. As you can see, it's impressionism. You're at this point, it's impressionism. Okay, now let me go back to the barn. Now the barn is turquoise. We don't have turquoise. On this one I cheated. I had some pastels at home. This class inspired me to buy some pastels. I still only have the pastels from when I was a kid. 7 years old. Okay, I'm going to be making a turquoise. Turquoise is actually a blue and an orange mixed together with white. But let me see what I can do. I'm just going to make this, oops. Got to make this edge softer. I'm going to do this extremely light. Otherwise this whole thing is going to be blending in. Very light. I'm experimenting, guys. I don't know how this is going to turn out. But anything in art, you're always learning. So, all right, let's see. Now I'm going to take the white. Let's see what happens if I go over this with the white. Okay, yeah. All right, here. This is nice. I did light enough. I'm going over it with white. So I've got a turquoise. I'm going to go back over with a little bit of the blue. Oops. Zip. Alright, now comes the blending. I'm not going to, since this doesn't have too much of a tooth, I really can't blend it too much or it's going to, I'm going to lose the tooth. So I'm just very lightly, I'm just flicking my fingers over this very, very lightly. I learned my lesson. Alright, I'm going to put a little in here. And so forth. All right, now stepping back, give this a little bit. All right, now let me get through. Put a little bit of light green here. All right, now. All right. I gotta get darker. All right, let's see here. I'm going to try, let's go over that blue background with my darker green. And let's see how this works. Let's try Let me try it over here. See if they have. Try it. Okay. All right. That comes out nice. All right. Let's. Oops. I should have put more blue. All right. Let's get the blue darker. Okay. Okay. Yep. All right. We're getting the right color. Could be darker, but like I said, we are improvising. We don't have all the colors. So we are being creative. I'm going to go over with a little bit more blue. And now I'm going to make some lines. Gotta define this house over here, this barn. Well, I keep thinking of little cabin in the woods, little something by the window stood, or a hunter passing by, knocking on my door. Help me cry, for a hunter shoot you dead, little something go inside, safely you will hide. We artists do strange things. Okay. This feels like a little cabin in the woods for some reason. Okay, let's see. Sorry about that song. Something from camp. Usually I got music going when I'm doing this. Kind of keeps up the spirit. Using the side of the pure yellow at this point, just to get the different greens in here. This is very dark values here. In order to get the darks, I'm going to have to keep going back over it. I don't want mud. But let's see what we got. Go with the green. Over this. Okay, it's working. It's getting darker. I'm going to go very lightly, and I'm just kind of scrubbling along. Last things you do is put the lights in. So I'm not that worried about it at this point. And let's put some of the woods in here. sometimes you have to go with your gut. I'm just using the brown here. This brown has an orange to it, and blue and orange work together. So notice it's sticking, it's coming out now. A little bit. I'm improvising. This actually has a white trim, but the white is not that strong here. So if we just put the brown in, a light line to show the angle of the planks. Put a little darker here. Gotta be a little darker for that yellow just to come up. See, all right, come back in. All right, give it a. I'm using the corner edge just to kind of give it, put in some shadows. The light is hitting some of the leaves, but not all of them, so creating interesting patterns. And I'm doing it loosely. You're looking at it from a distance. When you're up close, you'll find that things look a little bit different when you're up close. Needs a little sap green, which we don't have. Let's use a little bit of the umber with the brown, which gives it a little, yeah, it gives it a little bit stronger color. So here, yeah. I'm almost bordering on mud here, but I want to get some stronger colors through here. This is called this is the foreground. This is closer to the eye of the person who has taken the photograph, and so the things will be bright, will have more contrast to it, they will have more color to it, and they will have more details. Everything at a distance gets blurred. You can only see shadows if something is from 3 to 5 feet away. If it's any further away, it gets blurred. And this is how the artists in the Renaissance, that's why they did certain optical illusions to actually copy the way we normally see things. since I really don't have a dark green, I have to keep using this blue. All right, let's see. But in reality, a lot of artists, in fact, there is a special, as they call it, palette that some artists use, only a few colors. And you can make from white, I think raw umber, is it raw sienna, and ultramarine blue, you can do a complete painting. Just those three colors. So you've got to be, now I'm putting some of the ochre into this because we're seeing what's going to happen. I don't know. I'm just playing along with it, and you play. That's the idea of this. We're going to just be playing. You're going to see what it turns out to be. You're learning. You're having fun with it, and that's the main thing. Put on some music. Just have some fun. We need a lot of good stuff going on, a lot of fun. I haven't used this. This is a nice color. Let's see what we can get. Also, I haven't used the purple. Let's see. Let's see. What happens if I put it here? Oh, not too much tooth. Oh, I'm getting my dark color. Woohoo! You got to be gutsy. You have to be gutsy. I'm getting my dark color. Okay, I'm using, it's a deep blue, almost purple. But I'm using it over everything. For some reason, I wasn't using it. And now, okay, anything that is blues and greens, cool colors make something recede, to go back. Warm colors, that's the reds and yellows and orange, make things go forward. Okay, let's see. Let's get. And boop, boop, boop. Let's get the greens. Everything is turning into the same color because I got dirty fingers. All right, that's blue. Got blue. Just I don't want the house to disappear. Rather the barn. You know what? I'm going to use the red. We'll see what happens. Not the same, but it's going to pop out. We need the barn to pop out. Anyhow, I like red barns. All right, let's see. Kind of muddy. All right, let's see what we can do. I'm using the edge. Oh, makes this interesting. All right. Now, have red there. You got a lot of dark in the background. You got to have some red up here. Got to put some red in the foreground. And this doesn't look right. This has got to go up. All right, now. I have not used orange. Let's see what the heck happens with the orange. Maybe this will pull this out a little bit. Yeah. There, I'm using the edge a little darker. Okay. There, he's starting to have a personality to it. Okay. I'll put a little bit of orange in the front here. And I'm going to make this black. So you put the black there, I've got to put it elsewhere, and I'm going to start putting it in with the leaves. Everything's got to, like I said, you have to go from one place to another. You can't just suddenly fill in one place and not another. Everything has got to be balanced. And one thing about artwork, you have no idea what it's going to look like at the end. You have fun through it. You don't know what it's going to turn out like, but you have fun with it. And you can change the colors if you want. It's your art piece. It's what you want it to be. Put a little window. Put a little thing over here. Over here, he's got a little something else here for the door. And let me now I got a little point here. How I got that, I don't know, but it's nice. Now I can, actually I'm digging in now. I'm digging in with that. The paper does have tooth. Okay. I'm digging. You can actually hear what I'm doing. I'm digging into it. And I'm getting some interesting results. Okay, stepping back. Let's see. More here. I don't know if I can get white here. I want to get some. try some white for some details. Let's see how that works. Okay, that's something here. I'm using the sharp edge again. It's working now. The more you use these, the more it becomes like your finger. It becomes like a pencil. You know what you're doing with it. Notice I'm having to hold the board because I'm pressing down very hard. I'm getting my exercise with this. Okay, this is starting to look interesting. The roof is starting to look interesting, not just put some. Now, I need something more. I don't know what. Gotta keep stepping back every once in a while. I'm going over this with white. Yeah, that's what needed. These branches all kind of needed to be connected. They're just kind of sticking there. They need to, one over needs to overlap each other. Get some type of a direction. They're all kind of hanging in. It's still very green through here over the blue. More blue over here. Now that I made a red barn, I don't have to worry about the blue and the intruding on the barn. I saw some orange through here. I don't know, there's little pine cone type things. I'll put a little bit. Yeah, actually that looks interesting. It's making it, gives this more character. There's got to be more dark through here. Since we don't have a dark blue, the blue is not that dark. The green is the green is not that dark. I'm going to have to make it my dark blue again through here. Give it a little bit more pizzazz. Improvising. Pretty colors. Getting some interesting colors through here, all overlapping them. And this had a dark, yeah. was a nice one. I had the, I just gotta go down into the, they're too uniform. There's gotta be some things that are higher than others. They can't all be the same height. I think it's boring. Let's put a little more orange. There. Using a little bit of brown just to darken this a bit. But the key is to do it lightly. I think the only reason I'm able to scrabble, you can see how this one I'm doing much better than that. I've got much more life in it because this is the second time I'm trying it. So remember, you're learning, and it takes, sometimes you just got to go with the flow. I mean, what I'm doing now is I'm kind of giving in and I'm saying, okay, let me try it. And as long as I'm doing it lightly, I can get the effect that I'm looking for. And I'm experimenting. I'm not afraid to try something. That's what you have to remember. Don't be afraid to try something. I'm going to put the blue here. I got to put some type of a back thing between this and that. And gotta get this area here, which is mostly trees. You want to make it interesting. You don't want to make it flat. Now I'm using a little bit of blue. I thought I was using brown. Okay, let's see. Put a little bit more brown through here. There's one color I haven't used, and I love this color. Where can I put it? If I put it one place, I have to put it in others. For some reason, I'm drawn to put it over here. Ooh, it's pretty. Ooh. Actually, purple is the complement of yellow. So I've got a lot of the yellow in here. So it kind of works by putting another layer, and I'm using the purple. It's pushing the red house back, the red barn back, and over the other layers, which is still green. Yeah. Okay. Now it just needs a little bit here in the front. We need to, once you put it one place, you can't just leave it there. Now you see, I'm going from one place to the other in the painting. I'm not just concentrating on one place. Maybe if I put a little purple here, might be interesting for the window. Yeah, that window kind of comes alive, and I'll put this one over. Oh yeah, oh, this looks nice. Okay, and maybe I'll put a little on the barn door. Aha, that looks nice. That's too much, too much, too much, too much, too much, too much. All right, well, let's go back to the orange. Actually makes an interesting, look at the colors. get some interesting colors here. I'll put the little purple over here with the window angle. I'm using the edge. Okay. And back to the white. Oops. I'm using an edge here. Now with the edge. All right, let's see. Let's see if I can lighten this up a little bit over here. Oh, yeah. Oh, that's interesting. All right. And maybe I can make the lines, the boards, go across. Give it some texture. Yes. Okay. I'm giving it personality. All right. One door needs to be smaller. Make that a little bit darker here. Shadow. The one thing we haven't worked with is shadows here, but not. The shadows that we have are basically here. They're not shadows, they're actually areas where the sun is not hitting. So they're shadows, but they're not traditional shadows per se. Since I use the purple, if we use more of the yellow, here we go, a nice contrast. Okay, yeah, okay. This is, I can't tell anymore if it's yellow. All right, it's so dirty. All right, let's try a real bright yellow here. Okay. Yeah. Put a little bit of that elsewhere. And then I think we're done. It seems to be balanced. It's coming forward. The barn is receding. We've got interesting colors wherever you look. Now I'm scraping this. I am pushing down hard. But I'm leaving different areas that are still dark, some that are green, some that are orange. And I gotta do some of the dark here. This has gotta be, this is, there's shadows in here that I've kind of been ignoring. Ew, the green is a good green, and I need to have it elsewhere too. Shoot. All right, not finished yet. Gotta put the green. There we go. Sometimes a color is just calling you. And then you've got to use it. to know when to stop. All right, let's see. Take a step back. Let me get that one spot here. Okay, now the trick will be you take these off. Well, I'm going to leave this on to the very end. All right, I'm going to take this. Notice, oops, got a perfect little edge there. Oops. Now I'm going to leave this until I wash my hands. But you can see what's happened here. We've got a nice little edge. I take this away very carefully. Notice I've got a lot of residue from the pastels here and a lot here too. So be careful when you take this off. Just fold these paper towels over and you're good. And I have to say, I really got a lot of good work out of these. That one, my first one, no. This one, I did. It proves you've got to experiment. You've got to play with it. Don't be afraid and have fun. Anyhow, Renée Plevy from the Mandel Library, and happy pastel painting. Take care. Bye now.